So you've done some sublimation onto glass using Oracle 651 vinyl or Cricut vinyl or one of the other white vinyls, and it was absolutely beautiful. Then a few months later, it was so blurry you couldn't see it and read it. I've done some experimenting on this to try to duplicate it, and I think I found a few things, and I'm going to go into it coming up. Hi, I'm Roger. Welcome to the loft above the shop, and what I'm going to talk about here is something that a lot of my viewers have brought up in a question. They've done the sublimation on glass using the vinyl on this Dollar Tree cutting board here, and it came out absolutely perfect and it was beautiful. And a few months later it ended up like this. It was so blurry you couldn't hardly understand what it was supposed to be. Here's the back side of it. That's what the original graphic was. You're looking at a mirror image of it there. So I've known about this for a while, and I've made a lot of these, and we've sold a lot of them until the Chinese companies got a hold of the idea that you could put these designs on these cutting boards, and now Dollar Tree sells similar things like this for $1.25, where I was selling for $20, $15, $20. So that cut into the market quite a bit. We still sell some, but not anything like we were before the manufacturers in China caught on to this, how popular it had become in the United States with designs on these cutting boards or trivets. We use them more for trivets because it's a cutting board, it'll dull your knife pretty fast. Shouldn't be using a knife, at least not a good knife on glass. It dulls the knife. Won't hurt the glass, but it'll dull the knife. So here's one of the blurry ones, and okay, I had to duplicate this. So I made some cutting boards up, but they're not going to blur right away, so I had to wait several months. This is now October. The ones I'm going to be showing you here, I did back in May. And I just had them setting up here in the loft above the little artificial fireplace, waiting to see what they would do. So this is the worst one here. Why did it do that? Well, looking at the back of this, this was only pressed for 90 seconds. You need to have a 180-second press. So this was not pressed long enough. Well, then I thought, well, what if you press it too long? There it is right there. So what if you press it for too long? And this one here was done for 300 seconds. And as you can see, it also blurred, but not near as bad as the temperature being underdone. This is what the original graphic looks like here, a mirror image of it here. You're looking at it from the back. And I've noticed here that where I do get the blurring is on the black. The colors do not seem to bleed off into the vinyl and blur. And I'm going to show you a little solution to this here in a minute that I just accidentally discovered. So let me move on to another one here. Now here's one that was pressed, and this is a little bit off because the graphic got off on the bottom here, but this was just a test. So here's what the original graphic looked like on the back here. This is at 385 degrees for 180 seconds. And there is some very, very minor blurring around the black, but it is not near as pronounced as when it was undertimed or overtimed. The temperature on all these is 385. So I use the same temperature on all of them. I just changed the press times. Same pressure and everything. Everything was just identical. Same vinyl, Oracle 651, just different times. Okay, here's one here on a round one. And this is on the Oracle 651 white vinyl. And as you can see, the black blurred. And this was done at 385 or 180 seconds, but there's still a little bit of blurring around the black. You can still see what it is, what it's supposed to be. There's the back side of it, so you can kind of see the mirror image of it or what it was originally. So yeah, but looking around at the colors didn't really bleed too much. You got a little bit on the red, kind of bled off into the vinyl. I don't really have an explanation to why. Well, I thought while I was experimenting with this, let's try something a little bit different. So I took this same graphic and I put it on clear vinyl, 385, 180 seconds, done the same day. Here it is. No blurring, no bleeding, nothing at all. So might be onto something there a little bit. Of course, there's the back side of it. So yes, this came out perfect and it stayed perfect. So getting back to this one here, had that bleed on it and the blurring, as you can see there. I thought, and since I was making these up, let's do one on clear vinyl again. There we are. Of course, the clear vinyl will turn white when you heat press it. It doesn't stay clear, but there's no bleeding there. There's no blurring. It's just as crisp as the day I made it. 385 degrees, 180 seconds. This one here, blurred. So there's something to think about. And if you don't want the clear and you still want a white background, and this wouldn't be white enough for whatever your use was, you can always put a piece of white vinyl over the back and it will make that pop a little better. Or let's say it didn't, well, like this one here, you can kind of see through that. I don't know. Yeah, you can see my hand through the back of that. If I would put white vinyl on the back of this image would pop even better. But the whole concept of using the clear vinyl on these is so you can backlight them. So if I were to put a backlight behind this, that would, really makes the colors pop on it. If you don't have a backlight, you'll want to put some white vinyl on the back. Another example there, I can take this one that's on the clear. I'm going to take this one here and turn it backwards so we have the white on the back. So there it is with just the clear. If it had white on the back, of course you're going to see some of that other graphic back there, but it'll make the colors pop better. That's what I've found so far on the blurring. And people have asked, well, you're using Hippo ink, maybe it's the Hippo ink. No, it's not the Hippo ink because I also have a Sawgrass. And I did the same thing with the Sawgrass printer. And running across these with temperature and everything, if it's pressed too long or not long enough, you're going to get a lot of bad blurring. Occasionally with the black, as I mentioned here, here's one with where you can see a little bit of blurring on the black. This is a textured board here, so it's not one of the clear ones. But wherever there's black, it tends to bleed more than the other colors do. And I don't really have any more explanation than this, but it's something I thought I'd bring across and kind of bring up to everybody. So I've had a lot of inquiries about this. Well, I've done these, I did one and it was absolutely beautiful, and then 3 months later it was all so blurry you couldn't read it, or you couldn't make out what the image was. And the one that was grossly underpressed, that's this one here, grossly undertimed. It's only half the time it should have been. It's so blurry you can't even see what it really was supposed to be. And there's what it was supposed to be. So hopefully that helps you out a little bit. I'm still experimenting with some other things on what exactly causes this and how to prevent it. But the only thing I found so far is if you, for some reason, if you do sublimate on clear vinyl, it doesn't bleed at all. And of course this is, I haven't tried it with different times, but my 385 for 180 seconds, no blurring, perfect picture. Oracle 651 clear vinyl. And other types of clear, you may get the same results. And I should also bring up, a while back I did a video on sublimating onto marine vinyl. And there, when you first do it, it's absolutely beautiful. And about 3 weeks later, it's so blurred and bled out into the vinyl. So that's what kind of got me catching on to maybe it's the vinyl. Yeah, I've tried Cricut, Oracle, a couple other brands, even the Dollar Tree stuff. And it all has the same results. I didn't bring all the samples out here because we don't need this to be an hour video, but just wanted to point out some of these things. If you got anything out of this, appreciate getting a thumbs up, helps the channel. Something to think about with your times and temperatures. If you got any more information about this or any experimenting you've done, pop that down in the comments because I want to hear about it. Because I do a lot of this stuff and I'm always looking for solutions and things to pass on to you to make your projects turn out better and last longer. So thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next one.